everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to be working on what I call phase one. It is the first area that we actually created for planting flowers and vegetables in. It has weed mat down on it, so I'm going to be working on weeding it. I do have to clear some of the dead debris out that I didn't get to last year. A lot of times I leave that in there for the worms. They like to eat the roots as they decay, and that benefits me because then my worm population grows. But we're going to be working on that, so come along and I'll kind of show you what we do and how we use the weed mat and what the plans are. Today we are down at phase one. I call it that because this is the very first phase that we actually got set up for growing. And last year we had to put some fencing up because the deer pressure has gotten out of control. And as you can see, the regular fencing that we had just wasn't tall enough, so we had to add this lovely orange contractor fencing to the top. Even though it is orange, nobody comes out and sees this but me, so it does the trick. Inside the fenced area, we have weed mat down. We have different size holes burned into each row just based on the different needs of the plants and how they grow best in that type of a setting. We are going to be getting some more compost in here pretty soon where we will lift up all of the weed mat. We will amend it with compost. I will probably just broad fork it in, add some granular organic fertilizer, and then put the weed mat back down. I'm going to have to reset some of my stakes, and the purpose of those stakes is just for the flower netting that you can kind of see back in the background in the row that I don't have yet completed. But we are going to be working on that this season, so stay tuned and subscribe if you'd like to see that whole process. And the weeds are coming up through the holes, which is normal. We live on the upslope of a hill, so I think every weed seed from the valley just blows up and plants itself in my nice rich soil. But this row I'm going to be working on, I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse here in a little bit so you can just kind of see the process. I only wish it went this fast, but that's what I'm going to be working on there. And then I am going to go down to the section that you can see in the background there where there are still some spent zinnia and I believe it was celosia. That's what it was. I had some celosia plants in there and I just didn't quite get to them in the fall. Some years I leave them all there for the birds, but this year I got most of them out. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Done, and I'm going to walk around and show you some of the plants that have just volunteered and have come back from seed and some that have lived over the winter. Some of them that I've pulled out are actually plants, but I just don't want them there, and they're pretty prolific at seeding. And what I'll do is I'll put a picture up as I go around and show you what each of the plants are. Okay, so these right here are called bunny tail grass, and they have been in this spot for probably 3 years. And when I pull the fabric up, I just kind of gently work them through the hole and then back again after I add the compost. I did plant some fresh seeds of these this year, but super cute in bouquets and just overall playful when the breeze blows on them. Now this is the row that we just cleaned out, and you can see I have a few in here. These are actually just bachelor's buttons. I quit growing them in bouquets just because they're pretty quick to bloom, and keeping up with them has been kind of a pain. I kind of feel the same way about cosmos, but I have a few that have volunteered, so I'm just going to leave them for the heck of it. This right here is called Feverfew, and I am going to be ripping this all out because it is a very prolific cedar, and I actually have a few patches of this somewhere else, so this won't be staying. This right here is called Sea Holly. It's really beautiful, a little bit prickly, These are perennials, and I kind of regret planting them down here in this weed mat. So I think what I might do is pull some of these up. You can see the one next to it has actually died. These plants are about 4 or 5 years old, but I'm going to pull these up and relocate them so I don't have to fight with them every time I pull the weed mat up to put down some compost. And this here is the one row that I didn't get to as far as pulling my flower netting out, and I still down at the back here have some dead plants that I need to pull out, so that's what I'm going to be working on next. Okay, I've got the compost all covered up. It went from a nice sunny day to absolutely wet and drizzly, and you can see we have water standing in there. And if I pan up, you can see the sky is a nice lovely shade of gray, and we're going to be having rain for another couple of days, and then we're supposed to get about a week and a half of sunny weather. So stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing another video where we're going to be getting the compost over into phase 1. And over here, this is phase 1. We are going to again be pulling up this weed mat, amending it with the good compost, and then I already have several things that are going to need to be put in the ground. All these posts are coming out, are going to be redone. We got a few new posts for the flower netting, and that'll be that. So make sure you're subscribed, and we will see you next time.